Qualify the Podcast. I'm your host, Hassan, and with me I have the beautiful Carla Sue. Carla Sue is the belle of the Backyard Brunch podcast, the quintessential queen of Houston, the killer of the cards, the goddess of the greeting cards. There you go. Everything. It's honestly, a lot of facets to you that I just was not aware of. I think we've spent a couple of months and a half getting to know each other, either inadvertently or directly. And I think that's really, really healthy and cool. But now we get to really have the conversation. Because at first when we met, you were like, oh, you do your show, I'll do mine. It's like, yeah, in the back of my head, it's like, I think you're going to be very interested to know things about me, and that would make for a better show.
Okay.
Which was your show, not this one. That was your show, actually, that made for a better show. Because of the time frame it took, for us to kind of take those mental notes on each other. And now you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Lion's Den. Welcome to the Wolf's Lair.
Hey.
So anyway, what we usually do here is just talk. We just talk, kick it. We got questions. I have answers, vice versa.
All right.
Well, before we start, housekeeping rules for everybody. If you're listening, please like and subscribe, share. You can find me on all digital streaming platforms under QLAFD podcast, or you can search Qualified, the podcast. No substitutes, nothing better. You know what I'm saying? But Carla Sue has the Backyard Brunch podcast show. You have Shop Carla Sue, which is your greeting card company.
Right.
You also are, by my impression, heavily involved in terms of the Houston independent marketplace as far as business women as well as just business personnel in general. Mm-hmm. Seems like anybody who I've recently started following in this reimagination of my introduction in the Houston business, mm-hmm. you were already knowing, or they were already following you, or you were following them.
Word.
Which makes you a bridge.
Wait a minute. You said this before. Okay, so I've heard you say, this is the second time I've heard you say, I have my hands in things you didn't even know, like you had no idea. So what else what else am I doing? I was thinking, am I doing that much?
You're connected into the marketplace.
Yeah.
So you know how people, I don't know if you do this. I don't do this anymore because I kind of organically vet people by my own standards, right? But initially, and most people in the industry do that, is if you're going to have a conversation with someone and then they refer you over to another person, you're going to do some research. Like, hey, do you know who this person is? Oh, yeah, no, solid. Oh, man, so good. And that's kind of how we met. But also, I know that on my record, if you ask people about me, they're going to say that. Now, I'm researching and asking people about you, but I kind of didn't have to because literally everybody that I meet, you're already knowing them. Like, you already follow them. So I'm like, I don't need to ask about her. There's nothing else to ask.
Oh, my God.
I already know. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Because some people do stuff just to do stuff.
Yeah.
Some people are places just to be places. I think that you have built more than business connections in the city. I think you've built friendships here. Mm-hmm. When people introduce you, like you weren't around. We were at the Mixer, and I was just there helping. Shout out to Raw Kicks. There it is. Check the shirt. You already know what time
Raw
it is.
Kicks. I love that brand.
I just broke this out. This looks so good. Look,
it's nice.
I love orange on my skin. Hint for anybody looking for ambassadors, right?
Okay, Raw Kicks.
But I was there helping, and as I'm talking, and I know you were there in the background, but other people who don't know me, right? Mm-hmm. But they know you. So other people are like, you need to meet her. That's my girl. It's like, I know her. I know her. But the fact that literally everybody there is saying, no, have you met Carla? That's my girl. No, she's so good. Like, that's me not even asking. That's just voluntary information. And I believe that stands as a testament of how you handle yourself in the city. I think that's incredibly important. That's about integrity.
That is so funny. It's so funny because
you're going to talk about people you stab now?
No.
Right,
yes, exactly. Because I done get. Can we curse on here?
Yes, you can.
Okay. No, but I was reckless for a lot of years in my business, and I feel like I've spent the last 3 years trying to clean up and to be taken seriously.
Can we dive into that?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, very, very shallow dive, though.
We can get in wherever you want to fit in.
We might. But what I mean by that, when you say you were reckless, because I can talk about time frames that I was wild, and it wasn't really wild in business, though, right? But when you say that you were reckless, were you reckless in the way that you handled business or how you handled your business connections?
Just all of it, and
Okay.
also myself in business, like being in business and not realizing that I was in business. That's, how it worked out for me. I started Carla Sue because I was trying to, I think I told you this, but I was really depressed, and I had just got out of a mental institution from like about a depression, and I had a suicide attempt, and I was just trying to find anything to just make me feel better. And I'm a creative person. I was already the arts crafty girl in the family, and my family has been like encouraging me to do this for so many years. And so I was like, all right. As soon as I got out of the mental institution, I just started Carla Sue. But I didn't, and I was just doing my own thing. I made cards. I did the market scene, did some pop-ups. But every time I did the pop-ups, because I was still in my healing stage, I was still very broken, I would drink myself to death at these markets. I would be heavily under the influence. I was pretty much trashed the entire time. For a good, 2-3 years. And so my business was growing, and I did not even realize it. It was growing. My name was getting bigger. I was really getting news. I was getting press and all of this stuff. And I didn't know anything about business or, nothing about the back end of what was happening with me. I was just selling things. And then I opened up a shop. Still didn't know what I was doing. I just felt like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do now. And I just screwed that up because I was just drunk all the time. And so I was meeting important people and not realizing it. And I would be out of my mind. And so something stopped me. And I had a really low night, really hard night. And I found myself really drunk after a pop-up in Austin, crying in the middle of the street. And I was like, all right, I really need to take this seriously. So I stopped drinking. I went sober for a solid almost 2 years. Now I have a beverage every now and then. But, and I had to really check myself. And, once I started to slow down and I sobered myself up, I realized oh shit, I have a pretty successful business. So I went back to school for business, and that's where I met all of these people. I think that's, I made a point to just take every business course in the fucking city. Anything that was free, I would take it. I would just do it. The Urban League program, they have a great small business program. I did it. University of Houston, SURE program. It's a really dope business program. I did that. Yeah, go Cougs. And then, Fresh Arts, business for artists. I did that. And I met a lot of people. I connected with everybody because I was like, okay, now that I know my business is actually successful and gravitating towards people, let me just get in everybody's face.
Okay.
So they know who I am.
So I think this is still helping my argument.
Our word.
Based on chronological order.
Okay.
If of course, you've gone through all of that, and that's incredibly meritable. It's also God's timing because you were able to retain your business even though you're going through your low period. So,
right.
Number one. But number two, though, you getting back, information of how to handle the business. It was still there, and then you met all those people, which means that was your Reformation Act, what you were going through at the time. So those are the relationships that were the ones that I met that knew you.
Oh.
Not necessarily the party ones.
Sure, yeah.
Because I was out
nice.
here, and I think I have some age on you, so my partying out here wasn't the same as your partying out here.
You don't have any age on me. What are you talking about? I think we're in the same age range.
I appreciate the compliment, but no, we're not. We might be in the same age range. I don't think I'm a generation different than you.
Could be a few years.
But I know I was outside before you. I know that. And my outside was different. And it's okay. That's absolutely okay. I don't do the PP comparisons between who partied the hardest. It's all good. No, yeah. We both survived. Because I was pretty sure. Yeah. I thought that at 23 I was going to die. So it was well, we might as well leave it up right now because, I understand it. I understand all of that. And then that's not necessarily wanting to dive deep into the lower periods. I do appreciate your transparency. That part I didn't know about you. We glanced over it. We were talking about, well, this is how I started, and I really didn't have control of the business. That could have meant anything. This is what that meant.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you telling me that. and sharing it with the audience, because this is Mental Health Awareness Month as well. I mean, it kind of plays a part, although I think that was probably just coincidental. And also, there's a lot of people crying in the middle of the street of Austin.
Yeah.
So like you could have been skipped. Not to make
no,
light
it was
of
like
this.
5 other girls in that street. No, I'm kidding. But
like, I don't know who to feel
probably
sorry
a
for.
block over.
Yeah. Like, this is like the third one I saw. Like, what should I do? Just keep going. All right. Sorry. If someone needs help, stop and ask if they need help. Do the right thing.
Ask them. Everybody drove past me. Oh, my
that's
word.
that's the jaded society
They
that we
weren't
live
trying
in.
to stop for no black girl in the middle of the road in the middle of the night. What?
Not in Austin. What year was that? 06, 05, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't 05.
It wasn't anything. It was 2018 or something like that.
Oh my God. 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I was a full blown parent back then. That's what I said.
I was a parent too. That's the problem here. Like I was a parent as well.
Damn.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. My generation of outside is not the same as your generation of outside. I would have been skipping past people crying in the middle of the street of 01, 02, 03. That would have been, 'cause I'm that old. Anyway, we have to do this. So when you established that you did have a full blown business that you really wanted to take care of, right?
Yeah.
And do the right way. What year was that great awakening?
I think that was 2018. A big brand reached out to me and was like, "We want to work with you." And I was like, "Why?" What the fuck?
For what?
And so they wanted to fly me out to another city and pop up and make a little store for me. And I was a part of this, like one of the faces for their little promotion that they were doing with Vistaprint is the brand.
Right on.
And so I was like, "Oh, okay." So they flew me and my mom out, and then I realized, like, oh man, my cards have reach in other places other than wherever I was selling at the time. I think I was in my products were in 20 something stores at that time.
Okay.
Now they're in 191. But at that time I was like, oh shit, people really rock with this in other places. So I came back home and went to school.
100 and how many stores?
91.
191 stores.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a growth expansion over 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Almost six. Mm-hmm.
You can't just blase say that. You can't gloss over that. That's exponential.
Thank you.
I mean,
I appreciate it. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm in this many stores. I'm
okay, I'll do that. I'll do that for you next time I see you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not like Target or I first of all, shout out to all of my stockists. Shout out to all of the stores, boutiques, museums that I'm in. Yo, I'm right here.
Yeah, that's
shout out to all y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all are fire, and I love y'all, and thank you for continuing to come back to me. That's great. It's hard to manage all of them. I need a larger team.
Sure.
But I would love to be in. I would like to be in a department store that's everywhere. To where also the small boutiques, but I would like to be somewhere that a lot of people can just walk in at any time and just grab it. Is that your
aspiration, or is that a part of your expansion business / marketing plan?
That's a part of the marketing plan.
Okay.
But that's not the big goal, but that is definitely part of the marketing plan.
Okay. Should probably preface with this because I'm sure, I know you've seen a couple of episodes, maybe not in their entirety, about what I do. I tend to nerd out about business.
Okay.
And mainly because I think it's really important that, my platform is really one of information. It's information and entertainment. So infotainment, so to speak. Other people talk about sports. Other people talk about our cultural idiosyncrasies a lot more than I would. But I believe that these things are kind of like highlights that we should discuss. Because if someone was very successful in business, we don't often, on a normalized platform, we don't often ask them how you did it.
No.
I know for a fact, because the things that, even before I started this podcast, the things that I was talking about, the marketing items, I told you I'd been here before, but the marketing items that I was talking about, the details that I was giving, I know that I'm doing the right thing now because I'm looking at the people who I never met before doing the things that I said 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago.
Oh, that's tight.
So I'm meeting people that embody the same thought process that I was trying to impute into other people in these off-topic conversations I would have while training and facilitating.
Yeah.
Screwston squeezed juices. This gentleman, I said this on a platform, and somebody's going to be nodding their head when I say this. I said this when I was giving a facilitation in a group training. Maybe it was like 10 people.
Okay.
Maybe 10, maybe 8. And I said, if somebody could figure out how to make drink mix, just non-alcoholic, drink mix. If someone could figure out how to make drink mix, package that the right way, and put that in a store, said somebody's going to make $1 million. Because I really miss a show called How I Made My Millions. I don't know if you ever seen it before.
I love that. I was just talking about that show the other day. Yeah, I love that.
Why did they take this off the air? So, and now you could only find like 3 seasons on YouTube, but you can blow through those, But this is what I was talking about in the inspiration. I said, if you guys can do this, somebody's going to make $1 million. Nobody budge. It's all good. Here this man is in 2022 on this platform. I don't know if he was cousin to somebody else or if he never ever heard this before, but that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm looking at millionaires in the making. I know I am. I wish that on everyone. It's like everyone should understand what it's like to have a tax bracket issue like that.
Yeah.
And then you can decide if you don't want it no more or not. But you should at least want to get there.
Yeah.
Right. So congratulations to you because you're going to be there.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. In the nature of why I preface with that is just because that's just how I talk. So if I start diving into business, you're like, it's a lot of business questions. Like,
me
that's why.
too. Someone actually told me the other day that they were so frustrated that I always brought up business everywhere I was. And I can't stop it. I mean, I'm realizing now that now that I learn more about business, that I love business almost maybe more so than like the actual craft that I'm doing, the art. It's all art to me. It's all, creative. And business is just numbers. If you know math, you'll be cool. But that's just the way that I see it. But I can't not talk about it, especially with artists, because artists just don't. I've been meeting a lot of artists that don't really grasp that you have to know business in order to profit from your art. You have to know business.
Oh my God, yes. There's
really no running away from it as a creative. I know we want to be free and we don't want restrictions, because I was that artist for a long time, until I went to school and realized man, I need a strategy. I need to know what a P&L is. I need to know these things, in order to really reach a financial goal that's livable, and what
and you're selling crafts and goods, right? So you have to know that. And I will agree with you. If you know numbers, you'll be fine. Business is just numbers. Marketing is art, though.
Marketing is art. Yeah, it's definitely creative.
Yeah, because there's so many different ways you can do so in order to hit your target market. So with you now being in 191 stores, you have a pretty good idea on which one of your items are selling more outside of the city, but you have some very city-centric cards too.
Hell yeah. I have city. The city is the only place where I really sell shirts and other things, because I sell things other than cards, but I also sell T-shirts and koozies and stuff like that, and that's pretty much specific to the city because it's where I'm from. I love it. I'm going to show the city the most love, even if they don't show me the love. Okay, I'm just saying. But yeah, no, I'm going to show the city love, of course. I keep Houston Dope T-shirts. I sell these shirts. I have a whole line called Keep Houston Dope, and I have T-shirts and onesies and koozies and hats and stickers.
It's a brand.
Everything. Yeah, it has become kind of like its own kind of entity aside from Carla Sue. So that has been a project that I've been working on for years, kind of pulling it away from Carla Sue, the brand, and making it separate. But for right now, it's all together.
It's all in one house.
Yeah.
Well, so we're speaking on the same things, right?
Yeah.
In terms of what I'm doing with my business branches, and the same thing that you did with yours, which is really proof of concept. Once it has proof of concept, it isn't hard to say, we can make this live as a separate plant now. Yeah. This can be separated from me. It's okay. I still love it the same, but it needs to be watered all on its own. Yes. There's branches of this show because it started under the Qualified umbrella. Houston Dope is Houston-centric, right? Qualified Indie Radio is independent music artist-centric, right?
That's cool.
I thought it was nice.
I just found out about that, when Vet Music Official. Shout out to Vet.
Shout out to Vet. How talented is he?
Vet is the kid is just great. He's just great.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vet. He's a musician. He's a rapper. He's also my personal trainer. Thank you for helping me reach my weight loss goal.
Show producer.
And He is my producer for the Backyard Brunch podcast, and he's my videographer, my photographer, and he's good at all of it. He's really great.
Endless talents.
Yeah, he's really great.
Yeah.
He's really just trying to tap into everything and see what sticks. I like that.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I think I was listening to him talk, and he was like, "Yeah, man, just why not do everything?" I said, "Ooh, that's a very 20-year-old mentality," which I appreciate so much. If you can make it work, he does, because he is very talented, clearly. And you see, like, number one, music-wise, that's one thing. Now I meet him over at your show, and he's doing your videography. He's recording. I saw the recording itself. I'm like, well, he's got 2, if not 3, talents. The personal training thing. Because I have a fitness training background, I'm always listening for cue words that lets me know if someone knows, and he does. Like, as soon as he said it, it's like, he's at least went to school for this. So, like, he's vetted. No pun intended. Like, it's just like, I really appreciated him being on the show as well, though. He's great personality, big personality.
Yeah.
California style. I saw it. I was like, he ain't from here.
Inglewood, always up to no good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But yes, I'm just using those as examples as far as what can live on its own.
Yeah.
But even to go back further than that, I remember something that happened with me when I was younger. And I got flown out too by a printing company when I published a calendar. But that was my life as a photographer as well. So
yeah, that's right. You're an amazing photographer.
Well, that's what they say. I think I was just a punk kid who got a lot more forgiveness than permission, and therefore it allowed for me to take really good pictures. Because that's what I did. Even when they were, hey, we're gonna do street photography. I was like, how much bail money do you have? Because somebody's hopping fences. We're jumping through properties.
Jump over things.
We're in stairwells we shouldn't be in. I was taking pictures and for an art. It turned out to be an art installation later, but I was taking those photos in a house in 3rd Ward when they were gentrifying it and mowing, and like they were just demolishing houses 2 houses down. And they were coming to this one next. By the time I was finished shooting in that house, which is all burned out shotgun house, by the time that I was finished shooting in the house, the tractors were right there.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, hey, thanks for not killing us on the inside, because we shouldn't have been there,
Yeah.
But I was going hard. However, when I decided to make the calendar, I came to Pelican Printing. Okay. I came to Pelican Printing and I let them know, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. And so, well, why don't you come on out and see the facility? How much are you trying to, what are you trying to make us? I just want to do 1,000 run. Look, oh, that's good enough. We'll just bring you on out.
Wow.
Because airfare did not cost that much back then, because I'm that old. Gas was also, I am gas at 86 cents a gallon old.
I was around then too. Okay. What you mean? I'm an 80s baby.
Okay. So that's the era. That's the era. For context, for anybody listening,
I'm so curious of how old you are.
I'm 41.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not a generation different than you. I just know that I got outside before you did. That's all.
Yeah.
You're
a few years.
27 years old easily. It's fine, and leave it at that.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. That's damn right.
I'm not a day older.
But no, I remember the similarities of it. I had binding experience before that, so they weren't able to finagle me on certain things like I already knew.
That's cool.
So yeah, I'm very thankful at the amount of things that I had experienced at least in employment, as well as maybe just stumbling on it myself, that allowed me to have conversations that people would take me seriously and they didn't think that they can get over on me.
Okay.
I'm an advocate of that. I don't care where you learned it from, just like you said. Anything that was available to learn, I learned it.
Yeah. Because
it allows for me to speak intelligently in certain rooms.
Yes.
And I'd rather not just BS you. Like, if I can't do it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But if I can, so. Well, what do you think about, since you said it, but what do you think about how the city, in terms of your business, like how do you think the city perceives something like this as a brand, or like, could it be better? Is there something that can be better done in order to get your name out in terms of a business approach?
Oh, sure. I was being facetious about like the city not showing me love. I mean, the city has shown me tons of love, of course there are tons of things that I could do differently. I don't know. I feel like in some ways, I feel like the city chooses, especially in like the art world or like in the creative space, they choose darlings,
Talk about it.
And sometimes, it's like, oh, this is our person right now. So this is where we're going to direct everything towards this person, or these few people,
Yeah.
And so, I get that. I've never been the one that's like, they always going to that person. It's like, get your love, get your shine. I have my following, that's what I can stand on, is like, I have a really dope ass core following that I've built. That's the thing that I'm proud of, like, no matter what happens, no matter if the city embraces me or not, I have these, few thousands on Instagram and few thousands on these different spaces and platforms, and of course the cities in the states that my cards are in. The little reach that I have, which wouldn't be little to someone else. I hate saying little; it's not really little.
191 stores.
But the reach that
Physical.
I have currently, they ride for me no matter what. I could change and pivot completely, which I plan on doing. I'm in a rebrand right now. So like, I could pivot completely and they'll be like, yes, girl, we riding with you.
Yeah.
Because they believe in the brand. They believe in the person,
Yes.
not the brand. I am the brand.
You are the brand.
So
do you have a name for your following? Like, are they the Carlys or the Susies?
I just say homies a lot, so they might be the homies, but
the homies.
Because I say what's up, homies, but they don't have a name. They are people.
I'm just saying, like,
hey, Susie's or no, Carla Susie's.
There's a Rihanna army, like, what I'm saying, or Navy or whatever, like Cash Money Navy. I don't know.
Maybe that's some shit I should think about.
Maybe. Hey, look, this conversation is only here so that you can take from it what you want, throw back what you don't need. It's okay.
That's something to think about. But no, I am working at making a more of an effort to really push into the city, push my product into stores. And, I guess there's a part of me that hasn't really put feet to the ground and like pushed to get my product in spaces here because of the mistakes I made in the past. So that's a me thing. I feel like everybody saw it. Oh my gosh, everybody saw me just be this mess everywhere.
Or they walked past it and don't remember it. Or they
walked right past
and they don't remember it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I'm working on letting that part go because I know that's all just a me thing. So now it's like, okay, I'm going to push my cards at Day 6 Coffee and I'm going to push them here. And, just places that are... black owned, black and brown owned. I'm really trying to make sure that in the city I support and uplift the black and brown shops. Yeah. So that's my focus in Houston, but I hope I answered your question. I feel like I didn't, but
did. No, you did. No,
I don't know. It's a podcast. Talk about whatever.
Yeah, we talk about whatever. No, I think it's all good. These are the things that I was naturally curious about. As you can see, I haven't looked at a note on here. I got a clean desk. Like, this is in my head. It is a constant running turbine of shit. So like, it's just always like, I should probably ask this next. So
that's dope.
Or,
I'm gonna get that good.
Or you're sick of yourself and don't know how to go to sleep. Like, it might be dope to you until you do this for a week and you're like, how does he sleep? Well, I don't, and that's the problem.
Oh, that constant rambling.
Yeah, like to cut this off is becoming increasingly challenging.
Do you write? Do you journal?
I do, actually. Yeah, okay. I'm writing a lot because I realize, honestly, just off topic, but in general, there were things that I weren't over.
Yeah.
And I've done a therapy thing before, and not a therapy thing. Let me not marginalize it. I have gone to therapy, and I do understand the benefits of it. Currently, within the notes and suggestions that one would have through that, journaling took a different route, and it just started me writing a book.
Oh.
And so that, I think, has been more cathartic than randomly journaling. Because most of the stuff I think about isn't even bad. It's just expectations and then execution of said expectations.
Right.
I think that's just proper planning. I don't really have a problem with it. It just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of like, all right, it's 11 o'clock. It's like, you know what else I should probably be doing?
I'm
like, oh my God. Yeah. So, and there's like, I don't want to do too much of a thing in order for me to use that as a crutch or to supplement how, like, not even down to melatonin. Like, I don't even want to take it that much. Mm-hmm. So now I used to be really good at this because of my timing and my scheduling. I was actually talking to Roderick about this yesterday. It's just because of timing and scheduling being off now, because I'm dealing with a small, very good monolith, though. Is because of that, I have to focus a lot of attention on it, and it has taken me off of my normal rhythmic schedule.
Yeah.
And I was doing really good about that. I was getting to sleep earlier and sleeping better. But now I'm like,
Everywhere.
A little bit everywhere. I'm filtering it back down though. It's chaos, but life is chaos. And if I can't complain about eating everything on my plate if I asked for more food.
You asked for it.
I asked for it. So.
You'll get into the rhythm of it.
Oh, I will.
I don't think you'll ever find. I don't believe that you'll ever. I don't believe that there's a such thing as balance. True balance. I don't think that I think you're always just going to be constantly trying to perfect your schedule and perfect your life. You're going to constantly be just, okay, what can I do to make this easier here and here? And I think it's an ongoing thing.
Constant adjustments. I could agree with that. I've gone down this road, especially before, just with different characters in that story. You know what I'm saying? Like balancing time, family, marriage, with travel expectations of living in Indochina. Like I've balanced a lot. It's just not that's just one example, but this is okay. I'm by no means complaining, because I hold the power to change this all. I can make my life a lot easier, but it just won't be as fun.
Right.
And who wants that shit?
Yeah.
So, so this is what I prefer. This is what I choose.
That's cool. Okay. How do you feel? Like you said, this is like pretty new for you.
Newish.
All of this. Yeah. I mean, new-ish, because you were already kind of working. Now this is more you. This is more entrepreneurial kind of journey, yes? Yeah. How are you feeling about all of this?
Good.
How are you even managing it? Because it fluctuates.
It fluctuates, yeah.
So, how are you handling that?
I got a couple of mantras that I always use, and they seem to be infectious amongst my friends. So I say ABCD, which is always be closing deals, or ABM, which means always be marketing. Now, this is just free game, but what I believe is that in those two paradigms, I should be working towards making business connections that are either going to be profitable or exploitive. Yeah. One of the two. And I mean exploitive in the right way. Right. So that if I have those connections and make those relationships, those should be able to open doors. That's a deal to me. Opening a door is closing a deal. You close that one, you can move forward. Right. Marketing is making sure that your name sustains. Yeah. So whatever content that I do, albeit free, mutual, or paid, whatever content I do is supposed to handle itself in one of those two boxes. My responsibility is to make sure that it does. If it doesn't, then I failed. Okay. And this is where my mind operates. Yeah. Is what I'm doing good for me? Is what I'm doing good for the brand? If it is not, I will pass. Right. And because I have a very meticulous approach to this, I don't feel. And maybe that's a small problem.
You don't feel.
I don't feel.
What does this mean?
I think I don't feel.
Duh.
Why?
How?
Why or how? Because there's two different answers.
How are you not feeling? How are you not feeling? There are all of these, because you're thinking a lot of different things that will bring you into situations where you might evoke some sort of emotion. Or how are you not feeling? Are you just shutting this off, or what?
That might be it. I think that was probably some conditioning and programming in that, just based on a lot of other stuff back then. However, in business, my opinion, in business, and I don't mean the journey through it, I mean just the practicalities of it. If I had a store and I sold one piece of candy, I shouldn't be doing backflips. Does that make sense? Like, it's just, that's all I'm saying. Like, we should be able to have some milestone estimation of where we want to be. Now, believe me, I've taken a moment and said, wow, I actually did that. I have. I just didn't do it for long, right? I've probably celebrated for as long as I've cried on certain things. Like, all right, cool, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes, and after that, we gotta get back on some gangster shit. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So, but we can take a moment. I don't live in it, though. Yeah. I've accepted that milestone for what it was. When we first started this, I had a whole different reason for why I kept it going. And that was, almost a slightly dark reason in terms of the need in my head to start this thing. But when it was, in my opinion, a milestone, meaning that I got through a whole season of it with content that was valuable. That's great. With decent feedback from those who, were in it as well as who heard it. I said, well, there's an opportunity here for me to keep this going. Because it wasn't about, how much does it cost? Or what does it? No, I wasn't even in the studio. Like, I didn't have this. Like, it was just trying to establish what this thing would be. Right. And then around season 2, the why changed. Because now there's an opportunity for me to help people in ways that I said I could, that no one believed, but now there's proof. Right. And so it was a journey of establishment. because there's an end goal for the podcast and there's an end goal for me as a business brand, as an LLC. But it was an establishment of that. And I think that was the first season in itself. And that doesn't allow for me to feel too much other than milestone met, right? Next milestone is, okay, now we do that.
Okay.
I'm happy. I'm happy with what I do. I'm confident, and I really am appreciative. But I don't feel like it's really with me and my friends are
executing. Sounds like you totally are. You do feel.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen you feeling. I mean, I feel like I've seen some feelings happen.
You saw feelings, but that wasn't business.
But not as it pertains to business. So I understand. Just but yeah, okay. Because when you say you don't feel, I'm thinking, oh, like as a whole, you're just not feeling.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't mean it like that.
No. I mean, it's fine. I've just been meeting a few people that are just like telling me that they just don't feel at all, and they shut off emotions, and I'm like, what is that?
Got you.
But in business, I understand. There really is no room for. Is there room for feelings? Is there even time for feelings?
I think in business there's no room for feelings, but in entrepreneurship there should be, though.
Yeah.
Because that's healthy. Mm-hmm. Because entrepreneurship is a hard job. Mm-hmm. You could be a salesperson for a business and maybe you don't have time to feel because you're working for someone else. Mm-hmm. An entrepreneur, in my opinion, for the health of that person should always take a moment to understand that they have hit what they said they would do.
Yeah.
But also know that you said you were going to do something down line too.
That's right.
So we can't just be here. We can't just be like, yo, I sold 50,000. That's cool. But if you made another album, are you going to sell 50,000 or 100,000? Like, what are we going to do?
What else?
What else? Right. So that's it. My own personal way that I handle my life, I do think more than I feel, but I damn sure feel. Okay. No, that comes out. Used to not. Mm-hmm. But now, no, I can't. I just am very selective of who I show that to.
Yeah,
but other than that, no, you're gonna get it. If you're one to have it, like if I want you to have it, you'll feel it.
Oh my
you'll see it.
Gosh, I love feeling feelings.
Feeling feelings.
I love feeling all the feelings. It took me so much time to like separate my feelings from business. Like, and I'm still working through it. To not have so many emotions invested in business. When I've worked with a lot of cool people. Mm-hmm. On cool projects that have never come out. Yeah. And so I'm like, damn, man. And so I remember always feeling a way like, damn, nobody's ever going to know that I was kicking it with in his mansion. Nobody's ever going to know. But I had to like let go of those kind of like feelings. It's like, okay, it's just business. That's just what it is. Sometimes the execution isn't right. Sometimes, projects just don't follow through.
Sometimes the people ain't right.
Sometimes the people, I've had a mixture of both. Like sometimes the people weren't right and it fell through. Sometimes, the strategy was bad and there was no like execution. Everybody kind of plans and oh my gosh, it was you that I saw that. Like I think it was you that made a post that was like, how you need to act quickly. You make the plan and execute.
Yeah, that was me.
It's so true. Because the longer you wait, it's like, the longer you just kind of like, you're just procrastinating really, but it's so true because every project that I've like been a part of that where it's just like, oh, we're going to do it next week. We're going to try blah, blah, blah. And then it falls off, so, it took me a long time to kind of just like separate my emotions from things because I was just like, I thought we were this and I thought this was going to, I had all these expectations. But over the years, I've really learned to just like hold no expectations at all and just like accept people for who they are, accept the situations for what they are, and just pull what I can from each situation positive.
Is this good, bad, or healthy? And what I mean by that is good means that this is something good that you would recommend for everybody. Bad/sad, meaning that it's unfortunate that we are where we are right here. Mm-hmm. Or is it healthy, being that it's a good mindset that will be sustainable? Good, bad, or healthy?
I think it's healthy. I don't really believe in good or bad.
You feel just like me. Okay.
I don't really believe in like good or bad. I think that's all like subjective, I just think it's healthy. What part are you talking about? To hold no expectations in people? Yeah, I think that's a healthy way to go about things. Also, like when you come in with expectations, you're almost always setting yourself up for disappointment. Because you have this idea in your mind of what the person may be, what the situation might be. You know, I used to really have these delusions. I would think of like grandiose things, like in situations, like for example, when I worked with a big rapper guy, insert rapper name. Yeah.
Insert little or big underline there, because they're all named the same.
Little something.
Little LIL or BIG, whatever.
Well, when I worked with a rapper and it didn't fall through, like it hurt because I had all of these expectations on what it would do for me and my brand and how But I should have just went in with no expectations and just been ready for the experience and excited for, you know, just everything that I learned, because I pulled so much from that whole situation. First of all, I was in a mansion for the first time. I had never even had that experience before. I got to see behind the scenes on like what rappers really feel like and act like with all of this money. And it was sad. It was really sad, you know? And so it just gave me a whole different perspective on like living, you know, just like being rich, being wealthy, like what do those things mean? Like what am I really seeking out of life, you know?
Can I ask you for context, what was your part that you played in working with this person?
Oh, I was helping them with a product. So they had my product and it was like product placement in their production that they were trying to film. They were filming a video, which was supposed to be like a mini movie. And so my products were in it. And I was helping with kind of like designing people, getting people together. I created a little team to help me with it. And it was just kind of like, what would the title be? Like a production manager or production assistant, designer. I don't know. And so they were using a lot of my product in it, and they were just, you know, taking ideas from me, and it was great. It didn't fall through, but if I would have just went in and been like excited for the, you know, just excited about all of the new things, you know, I would have really been able to appreciate the moment more, I think, if I would have went in with no expectations and just like, damn, I get to do this for a living. I get to do this.
Okay. Second question for context. Was there a budget allocated for you to be there?
Yes.
Okay.
That was another part that was the dopest shit ever. What? First of all, that was the dopest shit ever. So I had a budget, and it was like for food, for clothes, for everything, whatever we needed. It was pretty much like, okay, here it is. I guess that was the part that was so crushing, of just like, damn, y'all don't get to see all of this amazing stuff that I put together. I didn't even know I had this inside of me. But I learned that I do have that inside of me. And so now I took it, and now I've incorporated it with my brand and helped my brand grow with a lot of the things that I learned from this whole project. So
sure.
Yeah, expectations. That's what I feel.
This is a very interesting topic, right? Because I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's healthy to not have expectations. I feel, though, it is sad that I have come to this conclusion.
Yeah.
Because I used to have such a doughy-eyed, you know, just, are we doing what? I'll be there. Oh, what time do we start? 3? I will be there at 2. You know, I'll be in the parking lot at 2, texting my friends on a Primeco or Motorola Razr, because we're talking about that era. We're talking about that era, right? Just, you won't believe, you know how long it takes. You won't believe. That's just, you won't believe where I am.
You had to press a number like 3 times to get to the C. You know, you had to press times.
So I'm doing that, and I'm like, wow, this is like amazing to me that I'm along the journey, right? This is a very similar thing. Just my little short story about it, at least one of them, is that I believe that there was instances that took advantage of my ambition a lot more than they took care of me, because they would say that there's no budget, or they would say this is a good opportunity. You know how that shit goes. To say, well, this is a really good opportunity, man. You can, you can use this to parlay yourself on da-da-da-da. Now, I say that because that didn't jade me, it broke me in terms of that broke off a little piece of me. It didn't. I wasn't, sitting in the corner crying about it, but it broke off a little chunk of that luster thing that you have in your eyes, because I don't feel that way anymore. So now we're just going to do the thing. Now I'm incredibly talented, and I can, whatever it is you want me to deliver, I'm sure I'm going to deliver it. Yeah. But if you're looking at me to be like, oh my God, I don't feel.
Oh,
I
see,
don't
that's
feel.
The part that don't lose that though.
Oh no, it's gone.
It's gone forever.
It's gone.
Forever can
No,
come back.
what I have
Dang.
now, like, my partner would tell you, like, Buck, like, we just dropped his project.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about fit. Now, I was incredibly enthused in the studio making it.
Yeah.
Because I dreamed about it.
Ooh,
that is the last time that I've been very, very excited. Like, I woke up and I said, we're going to do it this way. And I came from one event. I was with my photographer. Shout out to Trent Atkins. I was with my photographer. We went ahead and did the Champions meet and greet where champion Reggie Johnson, champion Evander Holyfield were there.
Tight.
And we were just handling all this business, right? Did that, great time, right? We'll release those episodes later. I was more excited about what was going to happen at 2 o'clock than what happened at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, and I am into boxing.
Yeah.
And to have a legend tell me, say, you know, you're a boxing guy. My heart went.
Yeah.
I was like, really? You think so? You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Small moments, though.
Yeah.
But that's me producing something for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For someone to contract me and say, okay, let's do the thing. And even the one we did in the afternoon was me producing something for me, but it had a lot to do with him.
Yeah.
To create the art always excites me.
Yeah.
But depending on the nature of the interaction of the person that's booking me, I might not be too over the moon about it.
Yeah.
We're going to get it done. But it's not going to be a, Now, I'll do that on the phone with the people that we're rallying for it. It's just different.
Depending on the nature
Okay.
of the people who are booking you. So what does that mean? So like everybody says vibe. But is the vibe off? Like depending on the nature, what does that mean exactly?
I'm capable of directing. I'm a creative director on many different facets, right? So that can either be a photo shoot, video shoot, or it can just be on a panel, honestly, if we're just doing a design and development conversation, okay? But I would have a more difficult time remaining as enthused and engaged on a month-long project, because this has been this way, as enthused and engaged on a month-long project for a design and development project, because at this point it's going to have to get very systematic for me because I'm looking at the same faces. And you know what I have a problem with? I have a problem with, and that's probably my upbringing, is that I quickly define who's who. I define who's the alpha in the room, who's the beta. I define who's the seekers, who's the followers, who's the learners, who's the boss. And then I decide who I don't need to talk to. That's my problem.
Yeah. That's
I cannot be in a room not doing that though.
Okay.
Like it's like oh, you're the boss. Okay, well I don't. Then what do we need to talk about?
So what happens when you find out who the boss is? Do you just disregard the other people?
I don't disregard them. I just I look. No, I'm sorry, not to interrupt you. Not to interrupt you. I don't look for the boss to be the one to do anything, and I look at everyone else that they're lower. Yeah. But when, as you know, when you're sitting in a room of let's say 6 people, and a task is trying to get done,
yeah,
someone has to delegate.
Yeah.
I'm looking for where the order of this is going to be. Otherwise, this 1 month long project is going to be 3 months long and nothing's going to happen.
I see.
And because I've been in so many of them, when I see that this isn't established, I start to become disinterested.
Yeah.
Because I'm not here to converse. I'm not here to glad hand, high five, and ass slap. I just want to actually get some results. Because that's why I got brought in. I got brought in to do a thing.
Yeah.
So either let me do what I'm supposed to do and I'll send it to you, and then y'all work on the rest of this. Call me if you need me, which is where my consulting comes in. Or if I'm on this project, we just have to make this make some sense while I'm physically present in this project. Okay. Those are the ones that usually make me lose my yay.
Yeah.
The other ones are very, cool, man. Man, I love photo shoots. We're about to work with Rochelle at the end of the month. I'm texting my photographer about concepts left and right. And that's how I know I'm enthused, because I'm like, I'm over the moon about this because I know it's going to be really, really cool.
Oh, she's the coolest. Shout out to Rochelle Gemini.
Look at that, in unison. Yeah, no, absolutely.
The homie.
And you know how that came about is because, well, clearly I met her at your show, but Trent says, I want to do a photo shoot with a woman that has a grill. And I said, I'll be right back. And so I was like, be right back. And so, but his part in what we're working on conceptually doesn't really have much to do with what I'm doing. But I always say, well, who doesn't want a free photo shoot? So we'll just integrate that into the thing.
The best person.
When we'll be in contact for a very long time, but you'll slowly start to be like, Jesus, you do that too? Like it's just that. My incorporation is just where my art has always been. Like I understood printing, I understood clearly understood photography, graphic design, marketing, and all that. That's the art that I like. That's my medium.
Yeah.
That's my medium. I don't paint. I can, but I don't like to. Mm-hmm. So, it's just, but nonetheless, those experiences, when trying to work along, and I was in my 20s, and those were the expectations. I did have expectations of people taking care or shouting out or looking out for you. You'll be on the road with them, and I was a road photographer for a few people, and it just wasn't walking away from it. I'm very thankful it happened.
You have literally done everything. I'm so sorry to cut you off. You were a road photographer.
I was.
For like a musician?
Insert R&B singer name there.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. Insert up-and-coming R&B singer name there. Insert up-and-coming BET personality that is still established on TV and still doesn't. Anyway.
Okay.
So, but those things, those instances, those times, those parts in our lives, I've had a lot of yays.
Yeah.
I just said that it was sad that it brought me to the point of feeling like I just need to take a healthy approach at just not expecting things out of people, because what I did expect at the time, and artists, let this be a lesson to you when you are speaking with perhaps a young intern, like your friend who's in college and they have a camera, right? Or your friend who shoots video, or someone who does editing and stuff like that. Let this be my statement to you. Do not ride off of your friend's ambition. Okay, do not take their want to do and create a thing and simply use it. I didn't say utilize, use it for your advantage, because at some level they do need to be appreciated. Producers need to have their names on the songs too. Those videographers and camera people need to be identified on the posts, right? And I mean that because ultimately what's going to happen is if one of those things pop and they blow, and you get viral, or you becomes an exceptional thing on someone's IG Explore page, the person who actually made it look the way it looked doesn't get the credit for it, and that is unfair. That's unfair. And then you won't have a person sound like a grumpy old man on a podcast talking about how somebody broke their heart. Anyway, so that's that.
I will never. That's why it's the people you keep around you. They all have to be doing something
solid.
Everyone has to be working towards something. I remember when I first got my first intern, I was like, okay, what do you have going? Like, that was the first question, because it's like, if you're not doing shit, like, I want to work with people that have a goal in mind. Everybody usually says like, oh, don't hire someone because they're not going to focus on what you're doing. I don't believe that. I want to be able to help you and you help me, and we build and grow together.
Absolutely.
You better be doing some shit around me, or you're out. You're not about to glide on my coattails. What is the thing?
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can ride, you can glide, slide, whatever rhymes. You're the one who sang, not me. But that's. I agree with you. On the flip side of that, though, because you are, let's call you the boss in that situation, right? Because you did bring on the interns, that makes you the boss. What I would also state is that it is your responsibility to make sure that they have some degree of celebration or acknowledgement in this process.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we've been shouting out people for the past hour, because that is important. Because I don't know where this goes 3 years from now. I know where it goes now. I know what happens then. But when it comes down to the aftermath of these baby explosions that we're trying to ignite, and trying to just hit people the right way, you're going to end up saying, oh, man, it was a real good art, man. It was good media. Who designed that? I don't even know where that dude is no more. Okay, well, what's his name anyway? I don't even remember.
Boo.
Boo to you, sir or ma'am. That's, but nonetheless, that was really honestly my only gripe about the experience. So, I made good art. There are, there's a lot of mixtapes and album covers and stuff like that. I learned about licensing, being burned, though. Burned is what took me to being a better business person in my reincarnation.
Yeah.
Which I believe in terms of, some burning lessons, or what made you as established as you are now.
Absolutely.
But we're able to do that. We were able to come back out of the ashes like a phoenix. So I need you to talk about Backyard Brunch Podcast before we leave.
Okay.
Don't sound so enthused, though.
No, I'm just kidding. I love my podcast. I think more people need to listen to it and know about it. So I am the host of the Backyard Brunch Podcast. Oh, so they can see you too. See where we're at. Can they see you?
Yeah, you can see me. Over here.
Wait.
Nope, this way.
Wait, hold on, y'all. Let me get this right. Sorry, for anyone who's listening online or wherever, I'm trying to get my Instagram correct. Okay, so yeah, I'm the host of the Backyard Brunch Podcast that is broadcasted live on All Real Radio every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Backyard Brunch is where I interview creatives that have made their art a career or seeking to make their art a career. I mean, the whole show was basically started because I wanted to soak up game. I wanted to learn more about business and more about how artists were making their money. And I was like, okay, because I want to be one of those creatives making money. I want to be the person that other people are like, damn, she did that shit. She sold some greeting cards and she did it, and now she's living off that shit. How do I do it?
Right.
So I have to learn first. So I did the podcast just to be a better speaker. I'm a horrible listener, or I was. I'm a reformed bad listener.
Seem to be just fine.
So it was just for me to help me communicate more effectively, to be a better listener, to and also just to soak up game. So now that it's been like we're going into the 3rd season of the Backyard Brunch.
6 years.
6 years? Hell no. I've only been doing this for almost 1 year, and it's been broken up into six episodes.
Okay.
6, 10, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the format, and I just recently switched to like doing it by seasons because it helps me keep track of it better.
Cool.
But so yeah, now going into the 3rd season of the Backyard Brunch, and it's not even a full year yet. I'm learning that I have more purpose now with this whole thing. A lot of creatives have been coming together, collaborating through my show. As you've said, you've already worked with a few people that you met at my show.
Yep.
I have these roundtable discussions where I leave the mic open for creatives that want to promote themselves, to talk about what they're doing, just to listen and soak up game as well. And I do it in hopes for everybody to collaborate. So now it's like, damn, there's a deeper purpose to this. And I see that it's really helping people in a beneficial way. I'm finna turn this off, y'all. Bye, y'all. Sorry, live. Because it's distracting me. People are trying to say stuff, and I keep looking at the comments.
Gotcha.
They'll understand me.
Yeah, post it
they feel
and
me.
throw me in as a collabo. I appreciate it.
Okay, yes, I will. But yeah, so the Backyard Brunch is really becoming something that I just didn't know that I would love so much. I like broadcast. First of all, I like doing all the buttons and the beep boops. Behind the mic.
Is that the technical term for it?
And
Beep,
that's
boop,
what it's
beep,
called,
boops?
the beep boops.
What's
The
those
like
beep, boop, beep,
handling the mics and working with the mixers, and like I didn't know I love this. I've learned all about, like, not all about, but I've learned a little bit about like what it takes to host like a radio broadcast. And
Because you're in radio format.
because it's a radio format. Yeah. So All Real Radio is a digital radio platform, and you can find them at www.allrealradio.com and download the app. And there's a lot of broadcasters on the show, and I'm one of them. It's just become something I really love so much. I want to help and reach artists and creatives through this way. I want creatives to know that you don't just have to make the art, and you don't have to give it away. You can actually profit off of it and feel good doing it. A lot of artists don't want to sell their art. Oh, I'm so shy, I'm meek, I'm mild, and I get it. I was that way also. But people want to support you. Once they see who you are, they realize that there is a story behind your work. There is a story behind like the painting that they see or the video that they see. There is like a person that has a fully fleshed out, beautiful story. And I just want to encourage creatives to talk more about themselves, because you are what's going to be selling this. Like it's you that people will invest in, people buy from who they know, like, and trust. True. So show them, teach them, talk to them. And it's hard getting creatives to even get on a mic, but when they do, it's always a beautiful thing. People almost always, they promote themselves on my show. They always get linked up with someone that will help them either financially, in their business. They collaborate. There has been a person that had shirts. They sold shirts, and people started buying their shirts immediately on the show. Like as soon as they promoted it, like I need to let artists know that like you can really do this shit.
Yeah. You
can really. I mean, people, they don't even respect artists half the time,
and they don't appreciate them until they're dead.
Yes. And
that's sad.
Give flowers now also. But yeah, that's the Backyard Brunch, just really empowering and inspiring creatives to really, they can, if they choose to, make their art a career. And if you don't want to make it a career, I mean, at least learn how to shine your light, you know?
Yeah. Why, I guess what for purposes of just me understanding you and your thought process, why did you choose radio for your platform, or did they find you?
They reached out to me. I was at a party and with the who's who of fucking Houston, just amazing people in the city. Yeah. Like I didn't know that I was walking into that, but like I was next to the owner, and I was like, "Yo, I've met you before," and he was like, "Yeah, you were on our show," and I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot that I was on the show when I was already at All Real Radio before," and he was like, "You should definitely bring your show to All Real Radio." At the time, I was doing the backyard brunch via Instagram in my backyard. During the pandemic, I went in my backyard. I set up a whole like brunch display and got really cute and got drunk off mimosas in my backyard. And I talked to creatives, you know, and it was just like, oh, what are you doing during this whole time, during the quarantine? Like, how are you staying busy? Like, what's happening? And just talking to creatives and learning how they're keeping busy. How are they still making money during this time? And so the owner was like, yeah, bring your show to All Real Radio, and I think it'll do well. And so far, it's been a great responance.
That's
and
very cool.
I had no expectations. And so here it is.
This is a Saturday Night Live skit incarnate. Lowered expectations.
That was my TV.
Well, you know what? Neither one of them paying me, so I'm going to say what I want to say.
Oh, yeah. They're over. They're gone.
No, you're
now,
right, though.
So,
It was Mad TV. Yeah, for sure. God, that was funny, though. Okay, cool. Well, listen. Let everyone know where to find Shop Carla Sue as well as the Backyard Brunch podcast.
Okay, cool. So you can find Carla Sue products at Shop Carla Sue on Instagram. You can follow me, learn more about me, learn about my life, my product. And you can buy my product at www.carlasuehouston.com, and you can find the store locations that I sell in. And you can listen to the Backyard Brunch podcast every Sunday live at 4 p.m. on All Real Radio. Download the app, please, at All Real Radio and www.allrealradio.com. Or you can listen to it anywhere streaming podcast things, you know, where you can listen to a podcast. Man, it's been taking me so long to even figure that shit out. I just recently posted like everybody's episode all at once the other night because I'm trash at that part. I'm gonna get a team.
You're already building a team. You have enough people in your corner. If I could be of any assistance, please let me know.
You already have so much. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for all your help.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, well, we're gonna get out of here. I won't take up a lot of her time because traffic sucks on 59 South Houston. Do better.
Oh yeah, I have a meeting also.
Look at this. Look at this important lady. So you can find me on all streaming platforms, including YouTube. This episode will be airing next week.
On YouTube?
On YouTube.
Oh gosh, I hope I look okay.
As mentioned, you look beautiful. So you do. And I said it too. But yeah, so you find me on all digital streaming platforms, YouTube as well for the visuals under Qualified, the podcast, or you can look at the bat signal, QLAFD, trademarked. You see it. After that, please be sure to find more information about Raw Kicks at www.rawkicks713.com. And then also still an ambassador for Black His and Hers, which is BLKHISNHERS. 10% off with QLAFD 10.
That's a cool brand. I like them.
It's very 90s feel.
I like that vibe.
I dig that. I'll patch you in with him too. You might really enjoy talking to Roger. Yeah. He's a cool dude. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Hey, bye everybody. Y'all take care.